Hello children. Today we are back with another important chapter. Today we will learn about the degrees of adjectives. Since we have already learned about adjectives in our previous classes, so we already know that adjectives are used to describe nouns and pronouns. So today we are going to learn about the degrees of adjectives, which are also known as degrees of comparison. Children, let me tell you one thing. Why do we need to understand this chapter? Because children, we use these three degrees whenever and wherever we make comparisons. For example, if I say Kruti and Shruti are intelligent girls. So we know that these two girls are intelligent. But what if we want to know who is more intelligent? There where we are going to use the degrees. Degrees are used to compare two or more than two things or people. Let's understand this with these examples here. Children, we can see some examples are given here, and these are like gold is a costly metal. So in the first sentence, we have used the adjective costly to describe the quality of this metal, which is gold. So we are not making any comparison in the first sentence. We are simply stating the quality of this metal, this gold. In the second sentence, coral is costlier than gold. So here we can clearly see that we are comparing gold with coral. So whenever we are comparing two things, so we use comparative degree, which is costlier. Costly is the positive degree and we use costlier as comparative degree. But in this third sentence, as we can see, diamond is the costliest of all the metals. So here we are comparing diamond with all the remaining metals, which means there is a comparison. That means there is a comparison between diamond and the other metals, which are more than two. For comparing more than two things, we use superlative degrees. So children, that's how it is very important to learn about these degrees. So now it is very clear to you how do we use these degrees. Now let's try to understand how do we form these degrees. Children, since we already know now that the first degree, the positive degree, is the adjective itself. Okay, so we don't need to change the positive degree as it is the original adjective first form. So we simply make the comparative and the superlative degrees with this positive degree. Let's try to understand this with these examples. Here we can see many adjectives form their comparatives by adding er and superlative by adding est. This is the first basic rule which is applied in most of the cases. So we can see here is a word deep. So deep is adjective, it's basic and positive degree, but when we make its comparative degree, when we want to compare the depth of two things or two places, so we use deeper. We have added er, so deeper becomes the comparative degree and comparative degree is used to compare two things. Now the deepest is superlative degree. We have added est to make it superlative, which is going to be used to compare more than two things. So deep, deeper, deepest, positive, comparative, superlative. Similarly, light, lighter, lightest, fair, fairer, fairest. So this was the first and basic rule. Now the second rule says that there are some words that already ends in E, like we had some words here which were ending in different consonants or vowels in different letters. But what if we have some words which are ending in E? Since we add er and est to make comparative and positive degree, but if there is some word which is already ending in E, so why would we add one more E to it? It will become EER or EEST, it will become really odd. So in this case, in such cases, what do? We simply remove E as there is already one E there. So children, in such cases, what do? We do not add one more E to it. We only add R and ST. So, able, which is A-B-L-E, it is its positive degree. So, to make its comparative degree, we are going to simply add R. So, able has become abler. And to make it superlative, we add only ST. So, ablest becomes its superlative degree. Let's see some other words. Fine. Fine is positive. Finer, F-I-N-E-R. Only one E-R. Okay. So, finer is comparative and finest is superlative. Similarly, true, positive degree. Truer is comparative degree and truest is superlative degree. We must have to take care of these spellings here. Now children, let's see the other rule. What does it say? Adjectives with two syllables that end in Y have two scenarios. First one is that there are some words which ends in Y, but there is a consonant just before Y. Means Y is preceded by a consonant. So in such case, we replace Y. We remove Y and we add IER. We replace Y with IER and IEST. Okay. So for example, busy is positive. Busier, B-U-S-I-E-R, and busiest, B-U-S-I-E-S-T, which is superlative, and this is comparative. Similarly, we have word dirty. Dirty is positive. Dirtier is comparative and dirtiest is superlative. Similarly, dry, drier, driest. Easy, easier, easiest. Funny, funnier, funniest. Lovely, lovelier, loveliest. Just take care of the spellings here. And the second scenario, as we have, in some cases we do not apply this rule. We simply add ER and EST. So there are always exceptions in English, as we all know. So positive degree is grey, but the comparative degree is greyer, which is G-R-E-Y-E-R. And the superlative degree is greyest, which is G-R-E-Y-E-S-T. So it has the same rule as we studied in the previous rules. So this is the exception of this rule. When adjectives have only one syllable and with a consonant and have a vowel before the consonant, means the words that ending in consonant, but this consonant is preceded by a vowel. There is a vowel just before this consonant. For example, fat. So this word is ending in T, which is a consonant, but this T is preceded by a vowel, which is A. So in this case, we will simply double the last letter and then we will add ER and EST. Okay, let's see the examples. Fat is positive and fatter, F-A-T-T-E-R. We have doubled the letter T. Fatter is comparative and fattest is superlative degree. Hot, hotter, hottest. Mad, madder, maddest. Red, redder, reddest. Sad, sadder, saddest. Thin, thinner, thinnest. All these are examples of this rule. Okay. Children, just take care of the spellings here, because if you forget to double the last letter, your spelling would be incorrect. Okay. So let's move on further. What is the other rule? Many other adjectives with two syllables and all adjectives of more than two syllables use more to form their comparative and most to form their superlative. Okay. See the examples. Honest. So children, there are some words which do not follow these rules. We do not add anything or we do not remove anything. We simply add different words to it to make its comparative and superlative degrees. For example, honest is positive degree, and for making its comparative, we simply add more to it. Okay. More is always used for comparative and most is always used for superlative degrees. So honest, more honest, most honest. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Learned, more learned, most learned. Similarly, difficult, which is positive, more difficult, which is comparative, and most difficult is superlative. Splendid, more splendid and most splendid. Similarly, famous, more famous and most famous. This is how we convert or we make the comparative and superlative of some words. Now, the other rule says, here are some adjectives that have irregular comparative and superlative degrees, which means that we do not follow any rule for these words. We simply use a totally different word for comparative and superlative degrees. Okay, these adjectives do not follow any of these regular rules. For example, bad. Bad is an adjective which is positive degree, and for comparative degree we use a totally different word which is worse, and for superlative we use different word, that is worst. Okay, so bad, worse, worst. Similarly, far, further, farthest. Little, less, least. Good, better, best. All these are the examples of. Now children, there are some important things to keep in mind while making these comparative and superlative degrees. These things are, while making comparative degree, we always use then with the comparative degrees, and in some cases we use to with the comparative degrees. And with the superlative degrees, we always use the before it. This is the thumb rule. Don't ever forget it, okay? So now, never use double comparative and superlative degree. What does it mean? It means that there are some different words we use in different cases for comparative and superlative degrees. But we should keep it in mind that we do not follow two comparative degrees together or two superlative degrees together, or even comparative and superlative degrees together. For example, you are more faster. So, more is also used for comparative degree with some words, and faster itself is a comparative degree. So, here it would be incorrect. Okay, so we have to remove either more or either faster. With more, we always use the positive degree, more fast, okay, not more faster. So, this is the most tidiest room in the house. Here again, most is also used for superlative and tidiest is also a superlative degree. So, we would use tidiest and we will use the before it. This is the tidiest room in the house. You are faster than me. So, we will use only one word for comparative or superlative degree. In some cases, comparatives are followed by to instead of then, as I already told you before. I like coffee to tea. I like coffee then tea would be incorrect. Okay. We do not use then with superior, inferior, all these kinds of words. Now the next rule says when each, every, either or neither are used as adjectives, they go with singular nouns. So we always use singular nouns with them. For example, each boy was given a gift. So each boy was given a gift. So we are using boy here, not boys. Each boys would be incorrect. Similarly, either of you will be punished. Neither book is good for you. Neither books will be incorrect. Neither of you are innocent. Similarly, every girl. So we do not say every girls, every boys, every man. We do not say it like that. We use only singular nouns. Each girl was given a pen. So here also we would not use each boys, each girls. These all would be incorrect. So this is the last rule we studied. Each, every, either and neither. Always take singular noun with them. Okay. So that's it for today, children. We learned 3 degrees of adjectives and we learned how do we form comparative and superlative degrees. So children, we will see you in the next session. Till then, take care.